everyone. I am delighted to welcome you all to your own one and only favorite colorful pages. And I hope you all are doing very well. Today I am launching a very new color, which are the pastel shades. Now these colors are the colors which you can use on fabric, you can use on canvases, you can use on various other mediums. For today, I will be teaching you how to paint with these very beautiful pastel shades on a kota dupatta. Yes, I'm going to teach you how to make a kota dupatta. But here my teaching has a twist. Now what is the twist about? The twist is that this tutorial is a mixture of two different kind of art form. The first art form which you are going to learn is block printing. On the same dupatta you are going to do block printing, and the second art which you are going to learn here is fabric painting. So this dupatta is a combination of two art forms, one block printing and second your fabric painting. All the material and the process which will be used for making this dupatta will be explained to you very nicely in the tutorial itself. So without wasting any time, let's get started. That's a really beautiful dupatta which I have recently brought from the shop from where I generally buy my dupattas in my town. And this fabric, if you will see, is very pretty, delicate, soft, and you can see how translucent this is. And this is called kota dupatta, a very unique kind of dupatta which is indeed very beautiful. And this is the original color of the dupatta. This is actually milky white. It's not white, it is milky white. If you want, you can even get it colored into some other color, that is, you can get it dyed into some other color, but I really wanted to use this pure milky color of this because I really have fallen in love with this beautiful material. And see how soft, and it's really a very good cotton. Very, very comfortable in rainy seasons to wear, in summer seasons to wear as well. We will start doing block printing on it this time. Doing block printing is extremely easy, but we need to put some marks on the dupatta. So I'm just opening the dupatta, and as you can see that this is the edge area, right? So this is the length of the dupatta which has this kind of beading, and this is the edge of the dupatta which you can see from where it is cut. So both the sides, if you will put your dupatta, both the side, this portion is going to fall, and this portion is the area which is going to form the pallu of your dupatta. We will start from here, and I want to leave some margin. Leaving some margin, I will just use a scale to make a line of around 20 centimeters here from this area. Now to make line, I will be using something like this. This is the tailoring chalk or the tailoring marker. I am using this so that after I wash it, the lines are removed. If I use a pencil, of course the pencil lines will be very, very much visible in this very light and delicate fabric. So I am marking 20 centimeter like this from the edge, and finally I will join it. This is in a way a border which I am leaving. So like this all over the two sides I will make such kind of border. You can see this 20 centimeter border line I have created on one side of the dupatta, that is the pallu area, and the same I will make on the other side. Now let us go on the sides, that is this edging side of the dupatta, which is the lengthiest part of the dupatta. So we'll just shift and clear our space like this.
Yes, now I want you to see something that I am doing a very easy process here. What I am doing is that I am leaving from this strip, that is the edging, I am leaving around one scale from here. Now what is this one scale? If you will see, this one scale area is around 4 centimeter. So if you want, you can either draw lines for 4 centimeter and join the dots like I have done in this 20 centimeter area, or directly you can just take any straight scale or some other thing, some straight piece through which you can make a line, and it can be 4 centimeter or 3.5 centimeter, whatever is convenient to you. Just that I want a edging at this place, a neat edging at this place. So whenever you are drawing the line, make sure that the edge of the dupatta is on the line, it is not moved up and down. So just keep it like this and keep on drawing your lines like this. So two sides you have to make 20 centimeter border, and the other two sides you have to make border like this, which is around 3.5 or 4 centimeter. The lining part is complete now. You can see the side where it has this kind of beading, I have made smaller line, and the pallu, the two sides I have made the margin I have given of 20 centimeters. The same I have done all over. Okay, both the pallu 20 centimeter and the beading area, that is the vertical area, the length part of the dupatta, I have left around 3.5 to 4 centimeter border over here. I will definitely be adding some more lines to it as I go ahead making or printing blocks on this dupatta. Now first let me introduce you with the blocks which I am using. So let us keep this aside and I will show you the blocks which I am going to use for this printing. Now this is number 1 block, number 2 block and number 3 block. These are the 3 blocks which I am going to use for the block printing on this dupatta. Now there are few things which are really very important when you start with block printing. You must know about them. What are those few things? Now first is you should understand the block. Now this block which you are seeing in front of you, this is a running block. So why it is called a running block? Because you create pattern with this in running. So the border which I have made on the 2 sides, this block will be very suitable for that border because it is running repeatedly. It's a repeatingly design. So that is called a running design. Okay. And what are these? These two are the motif design. So you can print anywhere making any kind of pattern with these designs, and they are known as the motif design. Now you can also make it running by 1 1 1 1 again printing it, but basically when we call running, they are the big ones and they cover larger area. So these are the running design and these are the small motif. And as you can see, both of these, all 3 are the very traditional Indian pattern of design. The beautiful peacock, the flower, and again the flower beautiful filled with flowers. These running pattern right in front of you. Now how to use it? Now for using it, what do you need to do? That actually these blocks come unseasoned. They come without any seasoning. You have to do seasoning of the block. What is seasoning? Very funny sounds, na? No, it's not that funny. You take a plate, a deep plate. Take any oil you have at home. Preferably we use oil like this, which is the mustard oil, and we pour it in the plate. Yes, you are seeing correct. What I am doing is sounding funny, looking funny, but this is the correct way of seasoning the block. Now you take a block, whichever block you want to use. Suppose I want to use this block. I am not seasoning these blocks, the ones which I have already shown you, because I have already seasoned them. Alright, so this I am keeping aside, but this is another block which I will show you how we can do seasoning of the block. Now this designed area, you have to keep upside down and you have to dip in the oil and leave this for absolutely 24 hours. Now what will happen? The block is going to absorb the entire oil, the block, the wooden block, and this block is going to become very soft doesn't mean that it's going to be flexible, but it will become very soft to use. The pattern will come very nice and the design is going to come very neat. Other than this, because when we use block, after using the block we need to wash the block nicely. So when we wash the block, the design will not get hampered if we season the block like this. This will actually, seasoning will actually increase the life of the block. So that is why it's extremely important to season the block. Now after you have left it for 24 hours, you can just pick it up and you need to take some tissue paper. On the tissue paper you can leave it like this only for some time, wrap it and just leave it and keep it aside. Now the entire oil will be absorbed by the tissue paper and you have to wipe it nicely. Take 2-3 tissue papers, need to wipe it nicely, and the block is absolutely now ready to be used like this. See, so first don't wash the block, first use the block like this after wiping the oil. That will be very good for the life of the block. After you have used it twice or thrice, then you can wash the block. Okay, so this is how to increase the life of the block and how to do seasoning of the block. Another very important thing which is required to be kept in mind while doing block printing is creating a nice padding. So what I do is I use these kinds of old bed sheets which I don't use at home anymore. So such kind of bed sheets, you can see a very thick bed sheet I am using. It's a real thick bed sheet. So this is one layer, and this is an old curtain again which I don't use anymore. It's a worn out, very old curtain which I am going to place now on top of this bed sheet like this. You have to create a good padding. The soft and the better this pad is, the better your block print is going to come. So be very careful of having a nice padding like this, soft. See, it's quite cushiony. So after this you keep your block printing dupatta on this and you are ready to do the printing process. So like this, I have kept my dupatta on this, as you can see, ready here, and we are going to darken the lines a bit so that the visibility is more. So this is how I am just darkening the pink line, so to increase the visibility. This chalk I will keep near me, so whenever I need I will be using this again and again. Now there is one very important content which we should not miss, is how to mix the color. So I will show you that also. The first color which I am going to use on my dupatta for printing. Now this one I have used is absolute jet black. I will be taking a container like this. It's an airtight container which has a lid, a cover, and I will take a small piece of foam, sponge. If you don't have a foam or sponge like this, what you can do is you can use Scotch Brite also. So this I will keep inside the box. I have taken this binder also, the binder medium 2 which I have taken, and I am using this black color, and with the help of the brush I am going to mix both these things in the box itself on the sponge. So I've taken a flat brush. You can take any old brush which you have and take a good amount of, generous amount of your acrylic color and pour it down onto the sponge piece here and mix it, apply it really well like this. Also put few drops of the binder and just add few drops of binder here and there. So this is going to be helping you to fix the color nicely on the fabric. And again you mix this entire thing nicely. See that this process is done in a very good manner, okay, because your entire printing is depending on this process. So apply the colors in the corner as well. Everywhere, because when we will be doing the block, it will be very good for us if this process, this step is done nicely. This may take some time, but then when the end product is good, it's worth spending this much of time on this step. So just see how nicely I have done it. All the pores must be filled, okay. I'm sure it is done, so I'm leaving this aside and let me take the block and first try it on the rough. See, so I will take the block like this, keep it on the sponge, press, and then I have to see the block is not completely filled with color. That means some more color need to be added on this palette, on this tray. So again I have taken some more color and I will add it in the corners as well. And again I will apply mix the color onto the sponge with the help of the flat brush. You can use number 6 flat brush, number 4 flat brush, that is absolutely okay. So everywhere you have to ensure that the entire piece of sponge has absorbed the color very nicely, thoroughly. Okay, I think this is done. Let me check again. So I'm taking the block, again I am dabbing it onto the sponge. You have to be satisfied, don't be in hurry. See that the entire, now you see that the entire design is nicely, the block is taken the entire design. So like this, dab it a few more times, see that the design is neat, and once you are satisfied, you are ready for printing. So I'll keep this aside and let us take our first print. For taking the first print, what is a very essential thing you should keep in mind is this angle, the first angle, the angle in the corner. So you have to create a line here like this, which goes across the angle. Just this is the 90-degree angle, right? So 45 degree, you have to just split this with the help of a pencil or a marker. Then take a rough paper. You can take a newspaper, any rough paper, and you have to keep it like this on the side, like this, okay. And you can keep a weight on it so that it doesn't move. This is done. Now take your block, see the line, carefully and see this area also. I am extending the block more on the paper, if you notice this, okay? And it is good. The design is going to come very neat. And then you place it on the fabric, press it once or twice like this, nicely, and then remove it. See how beautiful block print you are seeing in front of you. How pretty. And just remove this paper and see that the corner will also come nice. I will tell you how to do corner in a while, but before that I will extend my design a bit more. I am using this again like this and checking that my entire block has the color. So once I am satisfied, I am ready for the another print. So how to do the another print? Take the block like this, join the design, put it back on the line again like this and press it. Yes, it will take some effort. And then remove it. See, the entire design is going to come very beautifully like this. So let us now quickly do the corner also, learn how to do the corner. So this again the same sheet, you keep it like this in the angle. Take your sponge and again you are going to load color in this sponge on the block with the help of the sponge, and it's done. So we are again ready for another block now. Just clear your area. There should be no sagging of cloth in between. Just clear the cloth. Just put your block like this. Again press hard, very hard, some bang on it and some pressing hard on it, and lift it, and your see the corner will come very neat in this way. It's very important to learn how to make corners when you are doing block printing professionally. Also, of course, beginners will also like to learn the correct method of making the edges or the corners. Now this same block I will do all around the dupatta. Alright, and the process will be absolutely same. After completing this block on all the 4 sides of this dupatta, I am back again in the pallu area, which you can see, understand well with the help of this open edge. Now this corner I will start making one more line according to this width of the block. Now the width of this block is approx 3 centimeters. So what I'll do, with the help of the tailoring chalk or the tailoring marker, I am going to draw 3 centimeter some dots like this, and finally I am going to join all these dots to create a line. Now this line will again be made on all the way around the dupatta. After completing this line all over the dupatta, now let us quickly move on to the next step. For the next step, you need a container like this, which has a cap on it. Also, you need a brush to mix the color, and the color which we are going to use now are these very latest, very own pastel shades of Fairyquill company. So let's do the unboxing very quickly, and you see the very beautiful shades here, and the color which I have planned to use here is this pastel green color. So this color I am going to take. Along with this, I will also take this binder, the same company Fairyquill binder, just to liquefy my color a bit more so that it flows nicely onto the fabric. Otherwise this color will flow nicely in the fabric also without using the binder, but it is a bit thick. Why I am saying it is a bit thick? Because if you will notice my cloth here, this kota cloth, you will see that it is very transparent. It's very fine. So if I am going to apply a thick color on it, it will be hard. So that is why I want to dilute the color and then apply on it, so that the color is soft, it is not so hard, as well as the fabric after applying the color will remain very soft. What I will do is I will just pour a few drops of medium in this bottle itself, empty bottle, and then we will shake it nicely and put it in this box, and then shake it again. Now this mixture is absolutely ready. In almost 1 bottle of this pastel shade, I have mixed near about 1 bottle of this medium Fairy-Quill binder, that is the Fairy-Quill medium, and then this solution is made. I'll keep this aside for a while and I will show you how I am going to put this round frame, that is the embroidery hoop or the painting hoop, onto the fabric, because I need to stretch the fabric a bit. So like this I'm going to put the embroidery hoop. If you have bigger frames, it is recommended to use that, but I don't have it, so I try to use this embroidery hoop only for my artwork. But when I'm using this, I make sure that the hoop is not very tight, because this is a real delicate fabric. It is going to damage if I am going to put very tight hoop on the fabric. So I am keeping the hoop very loose, and like that loosely only I am applying the hoop to the fabric. Now I just need to elevate this a bit. So to elevate this from the ground a bit, what I do, I just keep some box or some container, anything which is close to you, you can keep like this, so that it comes inclined. All right, and after applying your paint on the fabric, the fabric will sink a bit, so it will not touch the base, because unnecessary if it is going to touch the base of the table, there is a old bed sheet here, the color will be absorbed by the bed sheet and the color will be wasted. So in this way I try to keep a box or something to keep my fabric in an inclined position. So this is how I am going to now paint this entire border which I have created. I guess I need to add a bit of more binder to this. Got another new binder, bottle of binder, and I am mixing it in the half of it in the color first to see how dilute it is. That is why earlier I did only one part. I think I can pour the entire, so that means now the ratio is 2:1. 2 part of the 2 bottle of the binder to 1 bottle of the color. Now it's very flowy and liquidy, that I'm sure you can see. And slowly taking care of the border, I am applying this to the fabric, and you can see how nice and bright color it is. Beautiful pastel shade. So if there are some pores visible with your brush, very softly you have to hide those pores, fill those pores with the color. Now there is one thing which I want you to kind of notice here, that when I apply color, to a shape or to the cloth, I always make sure that I do not apply color in the corner. I try to avoid applying color to the corner, and I always apply color in the center, because these color it may spread a bit. So just to save the color to bleed out of the desired place or to bleed out of the design, I always first apply color in the center and then gradually I move towards the border. See what a beautiful shade it is. Pastel green. This is very light yellow green pastel color. Like this I am going to fill the entire boundary, which I have done of 3 centimeter. And this process will continue all the 4 sides. After completing this border, the colored one, on the entire 4 sides of this dupatta, now I will start printing it again. So you can see this line and this line. What you need to do is just keep a paper like this, because when we are doing block printing, I would personally like to keep a track on the edges. I do like it. Sometimes I see some people making block printing without edging, but personally I do like making the edging. So like this, just keep your block like this straight, and finally, as we have done earlier, we need to press it nicely and then remove it. See, this way, and I will make the other edge also, the other corner also in the same way. Just keep the paper now this side. Points and keep your block in this direction. So first always try and make the corner, and then you can do the other part. See, the corner is done, very nicely done. So now you can see better, I guess. So this corner is very nicely done, and the same process will continue on all the 4 sides now. Along with these line of block, I will also like to put the block on this colored portion, so that both the 2 lines can work simultaneously. For that, again I have to keep the paper like this to create the edge, and I will put the block after that. So like this, I want to keep the block here, and right in the center of this pastel green, I will put the block nicely. See how beautiful it looks. Same corner we are going to make. So again we'll put the block like this, and we'll create the corner. Just press it a bit, and then you can remove it. So the corner is done. Now 3 lines, 1 is already there, 2 and 3. So 2 and 3 line we are going to work simultaneously. This process is very easy and it will give a very beautiful look to your dupatta, a unique look to your dupatta. Just like this, keep on putting the blocks on the painted area, and also you put the block on the area which is not painted. Very, very easy process, absolutely easy and beautiful at the same time. See the nice effect, isn't it beautiful? Now let's continue with this throughout the four sides. So the block on this portion and this portion is also complete. Now let's start a magical art experience. For that I am going to use this fairy quill pastel colors. I am using this beautiful aqua blue shade, this one, and I will be using this pretty very soft peach color, this one, for highlighting my artwork. So first I start with the peach color, and I will take a very fine brush. This is a 0 number brush, and just take the color, and in this area where there is this beautiful soft pastel green, I am going to complete randomly making this flower. This will be my center of attraction, the beautiful border which I will extract in the all four sides. So you can see how pretty this flower is looking, and this is the way how we are going to paint the flowers on all the four sides in the border. Randomly, you don't have to be doing this in great perfection. Let it be little haywire, because there is beauty in all imperfection also. So we should never ever run after achieving 100% perfection. Let there be beauty in imperfection also. So along with this portion, that is making the flower, I will also use the aqua blue color, this beautiful color which I had shown you earlier, and make some random leaves here and there. So that process will also be the same one. I will use these big leaves now. You can see how elegant these leaves look, right? And I will take out one more shade from this Pandora's box, which I call now, and that will be this nice sweet buttercup yellow. This color also I will be using to paint these small leaves like this. Now you can see that already the artwork has started looking very, very beautiful. Just do it randomly. No need to be in a rush, because art is a meditation. So absolutely no need to be worried and then doing art. Art is for relaxation, for your enjoyment and your peace. This is how this beautiful art piece of your dupatta is going to look like. And here it goes towards completion. See, in this way it's just looking like a beautiful lace Isn't it so pretty? I know it looks amazing. I will also take out one very beautiful grey color from this amazingly lavender purple from the same soft pastel kit, and I will use that making these dots. These dots you can also make with the help of toothpick. I am comfortable with the same brush which I am using, so I don't want to get up and grab a toothpick. But yes, if you want very fine, then you may use toothpick to create this center dot. I am also using the center dot as the center, that is the pollen area of the flower. See, amazing artwork this is. And when you are going to adorn it, everyone will be surprised that you have actually made it by your own self. So that's the beauty of wearing something which is customized, which is handmade, especially when it is made by your own self. That is the most precious thing. I have also placed a newspaper under this, as you can see, because I am not putting it on a hoop, that is on a frame. So I have put a newspaper so that the color does not spill here and there too much. So that's the precaution I wanted to explain to you. So as you can see that the border on all the four sides is absolutely ready. Now I am ready to put the blocks in the center. For the center, I guess you will be able to see that I have made some marks. You can see there like this. So these almost 13 marks I have made all over on the dupatta in the center area. And now I am going to put one motif block on each of these mark and then followed by painting them. That we are going to see next. So this dot you can see very tiny. I have made it very light because I don't want the print to be there even after I make the block printing on this. So one dot is here, one slight dot, you can see the mark over here, and another is here in this corner. Now what I am doing is I am using this motif. So this motif I am using for the center. So this motif is small, that is why I have taken a small piece of sponge here. The same color which I had been using, the entire fairy quill, I am using the black color. I am going to put here few drops on this sponge and we'll take few drops of water, sprinkle it on the color, very few drops of water, sprinkle it on the color so that the color gets a bit diluted. Too thick color will not give you a good block. So just sprinkle with your hand and take a brush, normal flat brush. With the help of flat brush, just spread it nicely all over the sponge. So this is how nicely the color water is mixed on the sponge, and this is ready to use. I'll keep the extra things aside. I'm using this block and load it with the color first. We'll check that the color is loaded properly or not. So it is done nicely. It's ready to print. Let me first print this side one. So absolutely in the center, just keep it and press it and remove. See, the block is absolutely beautiful. Let me take this center one after the corner and place the block, press it Now let's do the third one here. If you feel that the color is less, you can reload the sponge with the color. Let's do the last one, which is in this corner. Yeah, now I guess it's visible. And just bang it twice or thrice. So this one is also done. Now what I will do, I will just shift this and bring it down, because this is a dupatta and it has to be worn from both the sides. So this dot you can see very tiny. I have made it very light because I don't want the print to be there even after I make the block printing on this. So one dot is here, one slight dot, you can see the mark over here, and another is here in this corner. Now what I am doing is I am using this motif. So this motif I am using for the center. So this motif is small, that is why I have taken a small piece of sponge here. The same color which I had been using, the entire periquill, I am using the black color. I am going to put here few drops on this sponge, and we'll take few drops of water, sprinkle it on the color, very few drops of water, sprinkle it on the color so that the color gets a bit diluted. Too thick color will not give you a good block, so just sprinkle with your hand and take a brush, normal flat brush. With the help of flat brush, just spread it nicely all over the sponge. So this is how nicely the color water is mixed on the sponge, and this is ready to use. So I'll keep the extra things aside. I'm using this block and load it with the color first. We'll check that the color is loaded properly or not. So it is done nicely. It's ready to print. Let me first print this side one. So absolutely in the center, just keep it and press it and remove. See, the block is absolutely beautiful. Let me take this center one after the corner and place the block, press it and remove. Now let's do the third one here. If you feel that the color is less, you can reload the sponge with the color. Let's do the last one, which is in this corner. Yeah, now I guess it's visible. And just bang it twice or thrice. So this one is also done. Now what I will do, I will just shift this and bring it down. Now since this is a dupatta and it will be worn from both the sides, so we must have blocks facing both the sides. That is the correct side, that is this angle, and the reverse side, which is this opposite direction. So let us now, these two in the center of the other three which we have just put, we are going to place it reversed. So like this, check your area and place the block. Same process, twice or thrice, bang it nicely. So very noisy process this is, huh? People may think, I don't know what is happening, so much of bang bang. You'll have to explain them that you're not breaking things here, you're just doing block printing. So this is also done. Again we are going to shift it down. So when we are going to shift it down, we will see that we will get line of 3 now. So it is line of 3 followed by line of 2 followed by line of 3. So here our 3 lines are this one dot, and one more dot here in the corner. So let us do that also. Now the 3-1 will be straight, 2-1 opposite direction and 3-1 straight direction. See, clear, very clear blocks. So this is the way in which I am going to complete my entire dupatta, and will follow by painting inside these design. After printing all these blocks on the dupatta here and there, now we are going to quickly color these flowers and the entire motif. For that, the same colors I am using which I have already used in the border, and simply I am going to paint some of the elements of this motif with the help of the same combination to get a beautiful symmetry in the design. So we started with the pastel pink followed by the pastel green for the leaves, and you must be seeing that I have put the dupatta on the embroidery hoop. So that is going to stretch your dupatta so that you are able to paint nicely, and also it will create a distance from the base that is your table, because after applying the color the fabric gets little heavy and it tries to sink and touch the base, that is the table. To save that from happening, what we do is we try to use the embroidery hoop wherever it is possible. Also, when you stretch the fabric and then paint, then what happens is that the paint goes inside all the pores of the fabric, so the durability of the paint is increased. That means your paint will be more long lasting. You will not face the problem that after washing the paint was moved out, it washed off. So such kind of problem will not be there if you stretch the fabric and then you paint, because paint actually has to move in every pores of the fabric. So when all the pores are filled, only then the reaction of the paint with the fabric happens and you are able to get a long lasting finish of the paint. See, these are simple things, but if you are not aware about this and you do it in innocence, like without stretching only, then you face certain problems that after washing the paint washed off and all that. If you are aware of such tricks, then you will never face a problem like this. The paint has chemical in them. They need time to react and to settle themselves on the fabric. You need to give it some time, some rest. No need to wash the fabric immediately after you have painted it. Leave it for a week. It is recommended otherwise to leave it for 24 hours, 72 hours, like that. But if you want it to be very permanent, better you leave it for a week. And reverse iron is a must whenever you are using fabric colors. So this is how I have painted all the motifs here. I'm showing you like this, and now we are towards the finishing. Now you will see how I am going to design this entire dupatta, because this portion is not enough. What you are seeing, that I have painted the motifs and I have painted this beautiful border, this one. So all this is not enough. I am going to design this dupatta in a very different way. So let's see how I do that.
I am very confident that you all have liked and enjoyed how I painted this beautiful dupatta. See the lovely color combination, the beautiful kota fabric. First of all, don't miss the beautiful kota fabric. On top of it, the beautiful color combination, the pastel shades used, and the combination of block printing as well as fabric painting, I am sure has taken your heart away like it's taken mine. So this kind of dress, if you are wearing, this will be only one of a kind, and no other replica of this you will find anywhere. Of course, after you launch it and then maybe people love it and they make like this, but you are the first one to wear something amazing like this. Now let us talk about the care of the fabric. Now this kota fabric is very delicate. On top of it, the colors which you have done, the painting work, the artistic work you have done is also quite a much delicate. So I recommend no machine wash at all. Only use a liquid, mild, very mild detergent, and you can wash it in cold water without like this rubbing it. It's just going to ruin your artistic work. And also, when you have painted it, after around 2 days, iron it from the back, that is reverse iron. So this is the front part of the artwork. Do not iron here. This is the back side of the artwork. Iron from here. This is called reverse iron. Also, whenever you are washing it, keep it in mind that every time the ironing has to be from the back of your artwork, never on top of your artwork. It's going to spoil your artwork. So these are the few things which you always need to keep in your mind, that ironing has to be reverse, the washing has to be very light, mild detergent, gentle wash with your hand, okay, and every time you are ironing it, it has to be from the reverse side, never from the top of the fabric. And also the heat of the iron should not be too much, keep it light. So these are some of the instructions. If you keep it in your mind, your artwork on your dress will never get spoiled. So I am sure you have enjoyed this tutorial with me. Making of this dupatta has motivated you to a greatest level, and I am sure you are going to make one for your own self, and also don't forget gifting to your friends and family members, because they will have this waiting anxiety in their heart that when they are going to get such a beautiful gift from you. I am sure you are going to subscribe my channel. You are going to stay tuned for more creative videos, and stay happy, stay healthy, keep learning always.